Last time, our heroes found themselves somewhere controlled by the Nazis, watching three guys sabotage an installation of some kind. True to form, the three saboteurs got away while Tony and Doug got captured. The soldiers take them straight to Gestapo headquarters and wherever they are.
The weather on the Cherbourg Peninsula is terrible this time of year. But then, bad weather has its advantages. It makes invasion of this part of the coast quite unlikely.
And that was part of the reason the Allies chose that spot for invasion, because the Nazis weren't expecting it. They're not far from Normandy on the Cherbourg Peninsula, and it's June 4th, 1944. 2 days until D-Day, still the biggest invasion in human history. The Nazis have heard rumblings that an invasion is coming, and they're having a hard time getting solid intel about it. I certainly feel their pain, don't you? The control room has a solid time lock on the boys. Big surprise considering they just told the control room the exact date, but they can't get a handle on what town this is. It's not Cherbourg proper, it's one of the smaller villages in the area. Unless someone in that room says the name, it won't be easy to identify their village.
Never mind. But there's one thing about you Americans. You always have loyalty to one another. But it can be inconvenient. Can you remain silent while you watch your friend being tortured?
Much to his dismay, he won't get a chance to torture either one of them. He gets called into the next room.
It will work very nicely, Major.
I still say it is a waste of time, Dr. Kleineman.
Yes. I have no doubt that, given time, you could break them. Yes. Gestapo is very good at breaking things. But how much better would it be to be able to control them?
Mustache Guy is a psychiatric researcher. In particular, he's working on mind control. The Major thinks it's all hocus pocus. He's Gestapo. Anything that doesn't involve violence and cruelty is hocus pocus and not to be trusted.
It will not work.
That's not up to you to decide.
I have my orders from Berlin to give you anything you want, Doctor. I will obey them.
Of course you will obey. Because you are conditioned to obey.
How hard did the Major have to fight himself not to slap this guy?
And that's precisely what I am going to do with one of the Americans.
He says, when I'm done, one of them will kill the other without hesitation or remorse. He has them bring Doug into him. He says, let the other one escape, but don't make it too obvious, and tail him.
Now watch him. Freedom is on his mind. But he must have a weapon. He must arm himself. Yes, a small one. Very good.
This doctor is a good student of human nature, I'll give him that. He predicts everything Tony is going to do, especially when it comes to figuring out what to do about Doug. He tells the Major to raise the alarm, so he's forced to flee. In Tony's case, he needs help. Too bad he has no idea where to begin looking for it. Once that's taken care of, some men grab Tony and drag him into a building. Tony starts trying to explain who he is without actually explaining anything. It's not going well.
I just was hoping that the underground would find me and help me get my friend out.
Like you helped us at the prison tonight?
No, he could not have known we would be there.
Somebody did. Somebody told him. I say the Nazis have sent him here to spy on us, and we should kill him tonight.
But they can't right now. It's time for the BBC broadcast. We know they communicated messages in code to the underground and others by way of these broadcasts, as if Hogan's Heroes hadn't already taught us that.
That concludes the messages for this afternoon.
What do you know about it?
There was a message to be sent over the BBC. There was a second line which was supposed to be the signal for the invasion.
Was?
Is.
And what is this line?
I don't know.
He keeps trying to explain that he and his friend are here by mistake. He says, I can't prove who I am any more than you guys can. For all I know, you're an undercover Gestapo unit yourselves. One of them literally says, touche. How many years have some of us been waiting for a Frenchman to say that?
What is your specialty? Demolition?
Electronics.
Electronics? If he is telling the truth, we can use him.
But if he is not, he can destroy us all.
I say we take a chance. Get out the refinery maps.
Tony says, I'm with you, but first I want to get my friend out of Gestapo headquarters.
We'll try. When we get the invasion signal.
When the signal comes, our mission is to cut the telephone cables beneath Gestapo headquarters.
When that happens, they'll make a try for Doug, but for now they have an oil refinery to blow up. Part of the overall mission of the underground was to disrupt and destroy German supplies and places that made materials and supplies for the war machine. Blowing this refinery will put a huge dent in their fuel supply, so they have a hard time bringing reinforcements to the front. Tony's electronic knowledge will be really useful because they can't get near the actual refinery.
We don't have to. Here, open the map. Here is the refinery. And here, a gas tank near the street. If we blow this, it will get the refinery. Pow!
How was that again?
Pow!
Just checking.
So there will be no possibility of a leak of information. We will all stay here in this room until it is time to go.
Good idea, as long as everybody complies.
What I'm going to give you now is you make feel very pleasant. You will not fall asleep. Instead, you will have the desire to talk.
Unlike previous attempts at brainwashing, the doctor's method uses massive doses of psychotropic drugs.
How long will it take for this serum of yours to work? How soon can he answer questions?
We cannot trust any answers he will give.
Well, then what is the point of all this?
To reach his subconscious, open his mind, and erase his past.
It's not a Gronk-sized club, so the Major doesn't understand it. The brain isn't his strong suit, understanding it or using it. Ask him about the Allied invasion plans.
D-Day, June 6th. Germany defeated. 1945.
Gibberish.
No. Not gibberish. Pieces of the story he has been conditioned to repeat and repeat.
Oh, Doctor, if you only knew how wrong you are. In his mind, it's history. It's already happened. And you two are also history because the shore bombardment that foretells the invasion will hit many places, including right here. The Major leaves in frustration, which has to be a relief to the Doctor. Guys like him have a low tolerance threshold for stupid. He shows Doug a picture and says, "Do you know who that is?"
It is myself,
And who are you? What is your name?
Douglas Phillips.
No. Douglas Phillips is dead. Your name is Heinrich Krieger.
Doug tries to resist, but the drugs are too strong. Within minutes, Douglas Phillips is dead and his name is Heinrich Krieger. But it gets worse.
And the man responsible for the death of your father last year is still alive. You see this man, you must kill him. He is evil. Deceptively so. If he speaks to you, you will not hear him. You must kill him.
He's given Captain Krieger a whole new history, including the story that Tony murdered his father. His driving goal in life is to get revenge. Naturally, the Major still doesn't have the gray matter to grasp how significant this is. The refinery job goes off without a hitch.
Who you trying to kill, the German or me?
It's obvious Verlaine there doesn't like him, even though he was instrumental in making this job happen. He says, "Let's get in the truck."
Yes, General. My men are doing everything they can to locate the men who did it. General, I am paying an informant, but he did not tell me about this raid.
One of them is an informant. We know it's not Tony. We also know the reason this informant didn't tell Hoffman about the refinery is because he couldn't leave the room. So who is it? My money's on Verlaine. I think he's got a mad on for Tony because he's deflecting suspicion from himself. The control room has a solid lock on Doug now. As soon as they get a visual fix, they'll grab him.
Heineman did what he said he would do. Hold the retrieve.
Or not. He's now Hoffman's #1 aide. Hoffman gets a call from his informant apologizing for not telling him about the refinery. To make up for it, the informant has an address for him.
You will take some men to this address. If possible, you will take the saboteurs alive. If not, you will kill them. Do you understand the order?
Completely.
My car and the men are outside.
And says they've got him. Ray says he could be faking. No, not with all the chemicals Kleineman pumped into him. That's wishful thinking, nothing more. Tony and the group are discussing how to cut the phone lines on D-Day when the Gestapo bursts in and Tony gets the surprise of his life.
What's wrong with you?
What's the matter? You can't shoot a man in the face, can you? No. You can only shoot him in the back, as you did my father.
Hello, my name is Heinrich Krieger. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Come on, get out of the way! Don't shoot! Come on!
At their alternate hideout, everybody is accusing everybody else of selling them out when the BBC messages start again.
Kindly listen to a few personal messages. The fox is angry. The spring in Mexico is very warm. The dice are on the table.
That's us. Quiet.
The long sobs of the violins of autumn wound my heart with a monotonous languor.
That is a signal. The day has finally come.
Tony believes Doug is faking, and he's still determined to rescue his friend. But first things first. The invasion is beginning, and it's time to cut communications to the Cherbourg Peninsula. As soon as it's dark, they'll strike.
You will come with me to steal the staff car. Verlaine, you will set the explosive. Middelboe, scout Gestapo headquarters. And now, I suggest we get some rest.
Captain Krieger is trying to get men so he can go house to house, men Hoffman doesn't have, when a visitor comes in.
Our informant is here. You are among friends, Mirabel. He is one of us. Now, what do you have for me?
So I was wrong. It's the guy who looks like Wormtail.
I can deliver the leaders of the underground to you tonight. The price will be 1,000 pounds sterling, 500 in advance.
He lays out the whole plan, including Tony's part. Hoffman pays him and he slinks out. I'm still waiting for him to turn back into a rat.
I will arrange a reception party for them.
No, wait. This will be your job, Captain Krieger. It's your enemy. The one who poses as an American, he will be there. You will take care of him.
Yes. This time I will not miss.
You have to love how he's talking in accented English instead of German. Didn't everybody?
I am Captain House. My orders are to proceed to Venice immediately.
I thought he said he wouldn't miss. Tony didn't miss. The bullet creased Doug's skull, but he's alive. Tony insists on bringing him along.
I say we kill him now. You should not have brought him here in the first place. He means nothing but trouble. It has to be done. You, get away from him.
Put that away, Mirabel.
I'm not going to risk my life on your Nazi friend.
Get on, both of you, and put the gun down. You're not killing anyone. We wait until the doctor gets here.
That will take about 5 seconds.
I appreciate your coming, Dr. Shimate. It is no small risk.
If there were another doctor in the village, I would be fighting by your side.
This is the man, Doctor.
A very interesting case. Verlaine told me about him.
Berlin told him? I would dearly love to hear more about that, but there are more urgent matters to attend to.
Doug, it's me, Tony.
My name is Heinrich Krieger. You tell them who I am. You saw me at Gestapo headquarters.
He keeps trying to protest his innocence, but Mirabeau knows he's screwed. Time to pull a gun. They always do.
I will get paid. Whether I deliver you or they collect you here.
And it pretty much never works. Tony's a little shocked, but these guys don't have a choice. They play for keeps.
I have given him a sedative.
Can you help him?
Perhaps one of the psychiatrists from Paris can help him. I am only a country physician. No. It is my opinion only Kleineman can give him back his identity. He has given him a serum. Only Kleineman will have the antidote.
You assume there is an antidote. This is Kleineman's magnum opus. Why would he make an antidote?
Then we have to get Kleineman out and bring him here.
The project comes first. If we can get Kleineman and still obtain our objective, we will do it. But remember, the lives of a great many men depend on how effective we are.
Fair enough. They have to change the plan since they're sure I can't stop calling him Wormtail spilled everything to the Gestapo.
You will cut the cables and electric wires behind Gestapo headquarters. If they're expecting us, this will confirm their suspicions. We will go into the basement. When you are finished, join us there.
The control room has learned that the Gestapo is using a doctor's office in a multi-unit building. Since the Gestapo is expecting a direct assault, the saboteurs will avoid that part of the building and plant their bombs in the basement, take out the whole place. Duchamp says, once we've planted the bombs, we can make a try for Kleineman.
Where are they? Perhaps Mirabeau was lying.
Oh, relax, Major. A man like Mirabeau doesn't lie when there's a large amount of money at stake.
That's true, but he has discovered you can't take it with you.
You see?
Get ready.
They're plenty ready. Too bad nothing is happening.
How much time can you give me to get Kleineman?
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
You cover the bomb. I will go and help him.
What does Kleineman look like?
Oh, about 60 years old, craggy face, mustache.
You'll never get him out.
Look, make some noise. Make them think we're coming through the wall. That should draw some of them downstairs.
Very well. But 3 minutes. Now get going.
Tony's idea is working better than he ever could have hoped for.
They're tunneling through the basement walls. You two get downstairs. Go next door. Shut them off.
Because he just left himself and the doctor completely unguarded. Whoa, Tony just killed at least 2 men. I know it's war, but they've dropped into several wars without killing anyone. Honestly, I'm glad to see the show take that step, because sometimes it's unavoidable, even for time travelers.
Hold it! This building's gonna blow up in 1 minute, Dr. Kleineman. You have 30 seconds to get the antidote to the serum you used on the American.
Yes, but like...
Get it!
I'm a scientist. Don't expect any false heroic gestures from me.
He and the doctor are out of there just ahead of the explosion. We won't talk about the major.
You know my voice. You will do what I tell you to do. You will listen. Your name is Douglas Phillips. You will resume your real identity. What has happened to you will seem like a dream.
It doesn't take long and Doug is himself again. He has no idea what's been going on.
That's gonna take some explaining.
It is the beginning.
The invasion.
Those are the Allied bombers coming to soften things up for the landing parties. Time to get to an air raid shelter.
I should leave you here to the mercy of the bombers. But you have information we need, and you will give it to us.
No worries, he's a thinker, not a fighter. He'll do his thinking for whichever side has the upper hand.
We'd better get to shelter.
Right.
Never mind. Well, it's sort of an underground bunker, but I don't think there are any bombers here. And where's Doug?
This, then, Your Majesty, is the great Magna Carta, limiting the powers of the king and establishing the rights of man.
There he is. As you heard, we're presenting the Magna Carta to King John.
You, the Earl of Huntington, you call yourself a loyal subject. This is treason! Treason! I'll hang you and all the barons who follow your flag. Seize the traitor! Seize him!
This guy's good. He'll probably get away.
Surrender! Surrender now!
Unless Doug bumbles into his path and gets them both caught. Now they're chained to the wall in that same dungeon where Tony landed, and our friend here wants some answers.
Where is the Council of Barons meeting?
Even though I don't know the answer, I'm making something up. Quick, Joe's Bar and Secret Meeting Place. Yeah, he ought to buy that.